Thank God it's Friday. Hello and welcome to the Marketplace. Here's what's coming up in the next 30 minutes. The Ghana Revenue Authority rolls out a series of activities to target over 60,000 professionals evading taxes.
GRA has been mandated to collect taxes, and we have put in place measures to ensure that we are able to do that. However, as I said earlier, a lot of factors have actually conspired against us.
Also, as Ghana opens to tourists amid the ease of travel restrictions, the Ghana Tourism Authority under the Sector Ministry is leaving nothing to chance on quality service delivery. The Chief Executive of the authority lists targets for this exercise.
Taxi drivers at the airport, car rental companies and their drivers on product knowledge, frontline staff at the various tourism establishments. And so this is just the beginning of a comprehensive and sector-wide training program.
And later, scores of tertiary students and participants currently at the Valley View University receiving career guidance in order to help them make the right occupational choices. We'll be live at the maiden edition of the Joy Business Campus Roadshow. Hello once again, I'm Charles Aida. We have the details after this break. To stay. We begin with some tax matters because the Ghana Revenue Authority has begun rolling out a series of measures targeting professionals that are evading taxes. Now, this follows recent revelation by the President Akufo-Addo that more than 60,000 professionals are not meeting their tax obligations to the state. But speaking on PM Express, the business edition, the Assistant Commissioner Dominic Knapp said the authority is hopeful of bringing the situation under control.
Arguably, right, a lot of factors have really conspired against tax collection, and I mean, we'll be delving into some of them. COVID-19 is actually a big challenge. Then, of course, persons evading taxes, that is also another challenge, for the GRA. That notwithstanding, we have actually get our acts together, and we are trying to actually mobilize the needed revenue.
Following the discussions, and I remember this thing started when we tried to roll out the Ghana card, and when the finance minister spoke about the fact that how they are hopeful that this Ghana card will address the problems where a lot of professionals are not paying taxes. And it's not just the professionals, but there are a chunk of people out there who have got the might, the strength, and maybe the wizardry to avoid the payment of taxes. But some will say that, isn't it an indictment on the Ghana Revenue Authority itself? Because that is your duty to do that. And if today the Revenue Authority is complaining that a certain man out there, Kobna Mensah out there, who earns about 40,000 Ghana cedis a month, is not paying his taxes, that's a serious indictment on the authority.
Thank you very much. I think that let's look at the Constitution. Article 41J of the Constitution talks about the fact that as a citizen, we have a responsibility. And our responsibility is to ensure that we disclose our income honestly to the institution that is mandated to collect revenue. In this case, Ghana Revenue Authority. That means that we have a constitutional responsibility as a citizen, everybody. So that is true. Again, GRA has been mandated to collect taxes, and we have put in place measures to ensure that we are able to do that. However, as I said earlier, a lot of factors have actually conspired against us. Now let's talk about the structure of the economy. In Ghana, we are operating cash economy. If you are operating cash economy, it becomes very difficult. You, Mr. George Biafi, if somebody gives you a gift, are you getting it? It is in the form of cash. How am I able to actually determine that you have actually collected, cash, and therefore you have to pay tax on it? You have collected.
That's a gift tax.
Yeah, exactly. So these are some of the things. So what we have done is that GRA is a major player in the eco system. We have gone cashless because there's a clarion call by government, to actually create what we call cash light.
And that's Assistant Commissioner for the Ghana Revenue Authority. Let's now delve into matters of tourism, because as Ghana opens to tourists amid the ease of travel restrictions, the Ghana Tourism Authority under the Sector Ministry is leaving nothing to chance on quality service delivery. By this, the Sector Skills Revitalization Scheme under the Ghana Cares Obatampa program has been launched, of course, for the training of inspectorate officers of the Ghana Tourism Authority. 10,000 inspectors from all 16 regions will, through the Quality Assurance and Service Delivery Program, be trained on best practices at various tourist locations over 18 months. Akwesi Agyemang is Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority.
We work very closely with the national security, and that is why they are part of the training that we are embarking on under the Ghana Cares project. This we are doing this week. As you could tell, we have brought our inspectors from across all the 16 regions of the country, and so they are here to spend 5 days. They will go through the basic rudiments of inspecting tourism establishments. We also have the national security who will come in there and give them some tips on some of the security adherences that they need to be aware of at various tourism establishments. The COVID task force and the Ghana Health Service will also be here, because now we have to more or less incorporate COVID protocols in the work that we do at the various tourism establishments. One of the key things that we need to do is to improve upon service delivery within the tourism sector. And to be able to do that, quality assurance and service delivery team themselves have to be given the requisite skills and training. And so that is why under the Ghana Cares Obatampa project, the tourism component targets sector skills revitalization. And that sector skills revitalization involves training of various players within the tourism value chain. Today we are starting inward, in-house, with the training of tourism inspectors. They are the ones who visit the various tourism establishments to ensure that facilities are up to standard, to ensure that operators are obeying the laid down regulations that have been passed under the Ghana Tourism Act 817 of 2013. And so that is the reason why we are having this training program, to ensure that they understand the requirements, the common defects that we always see every year as we go out, and how our operators can improve upon it. To do that, I think we are also embarking on not just the training of our inspectors, but several players within the value chain. Taxi drivers at the airport, car rental companies and their drivers on product knowledge, frontline staff at the various tourism establishments. And so this is just the beginning of a comprehensive and sector-wide training program. And so they will also be here. And then the various defects that we have identified over the years, I mean, it keeps coming up. Disability-friendly facilities, issues of customer service at the various tourism establishments, how we can ensure that facilities are kept at a certain basic standard. We have our standards. We have hotels that are 5-star. We have those are 4, 3, 2, 1, and then also the budget and other guest houses. They all don't have the same requirements. So we want to equip our inspectors as they go out there to be able to understand that if you go to, for example, a 2-star hotel, these are the things that you need to look out for. These are the soft and then the hard ones that you have to look out for. The hard ones are the infrastructure. The soft ones are the services that they offer at the facility and whether they meet in.
Well, let's delve into this matter proper, because we're joined via Zoom by the president and founder of the Chamber of Customer Service, Yvonne Ohi-McCarthy. Yvonne, we're grateful that you could join us on this program. What's your assessment of customer service delivery within our tourism sector?
Charles, so it's Institute of Customer Service Professionals.
Exactly.
Good afternoon to everyone. Yes, that's fine. I think it's a very, very good idea. I would hope, or we would pray, that it moves beyond the idea. If you look at what happened during the coronavirus pandemic, you'd find that the tourism industry was the hardest hit. Before that, prior to that, in 2019, we enjoyed an inflow of tourism benefits when we actually launched the the year of return. We had a lot of people coming through, and we were hoping that this will actually continue. But unfortunately, we had the pandemic takeover in 2020, and of course, we were hardly hit. We want to rise above what happened especially in that particular industry. Because if you look at the value chain, as he was mentioning, there are so many people who are employed by this particular sector. You have tour operators, you have hotels, you have lodges, you have transportation, even roads, the airlines themselves. There's so many. So it's important that they undertake that training. I am all for it. I am actually very happy that they've sat down to draw up a roadmap. But I think beyond the training, assessment and evaluations and monitoring is going to be what's important.
Great, but juxtaposing this to the pandemic, which has become the new normal, what has been the situation pre and post COVID-19 from the customer service point of view?
Right. So just to read something to you, and this is something that Jumia Hospitality Report put out there.
Great.
And they're saying that this particular sector saw a key growth in the economy. They contributed about 8.5% of the GDP in 2018. That's right into 2019 when we also enjoyed our year of return growth. So, I mean, looking at that, you realize that we were actually doing very well. Now, if you look at today, and I don't have the Ghana figures, but I can give you Africa. So the African Union is actually estimating that 55 billion will be lost in travel and tourism revenues, and 2 million jobs will also be lost. So there's no doubt about the effects of the pandemic. It's going to hit us and hit us hard. But I think just like other economies or other continents, we would have to re-strategize and restructure our strategies and draw up a proper roadmap of how we're going to recover from this. So it has happened. All is not lost. That's where I think customer service comes in, because what we want to do is now go out there and be completely different. We want to go out there and create memories for people, because that's what tourism does. Tourism, unfortunately, is not like banking, where you can rely solely on certain things. For tourism, it has to do with the memory, it has to do with the experience they have with you mostly. And a lot of people would have to interface with human beings in order for that positive experience to be created. So yes, we've had a very terrible year, and it's affected us based on the figures that we're seeing, but there's a way forward, and other economies are trying to find their way.
Well, finally, Yvonne, you have been coming out, quarterly, if not, annually, with matters regarding the index of customer service. And we have seen the impact that this has had on the value chain of service delivery in Ghana. But how best, once again, from your perspective, can customer service be a driving tool for the tourism industry? Because if we're talking of tourism, for the tourists, it's not just Ghana coming to Accra. We're talking of booking the ticket wherever he or she finds, themselves, boarding the flight, getting onto the Kotoka International Airport, boarding that Uber, all the way down to the hotel that he or she would want to board to check in. So help us with the value chain of customer service. How can we maintain the full value chain without disrupting any with a poor customer service engagement?
Right. I always say that, look, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to go back to doing the normal things and do them very well. So I want us to, I think going forward, we should adopt a more human-centric way of looking at things instead of just, processes and operational, and even sometimes customer-centric. So looking or taking the human-centric approach means we're looking inward first, which he also mentioned, people being trained the right way. Now, I would always say that we've had some of our customer service issues emanating from even employing the wrong people. So if you're employing somebody into the tourism sector, if they're going to be a tour operator, work in a restaurant, in a hotel, if it's the Uber, these people are going to interface with the tourists that you want to impress. And so it's very important that you train them well. And it's very important they have the right attitudes, they have the right mindset, and they have the right skill set. So what they're doing now, is fantastic. That's what needs to be done. But we need to check and make sure it's being done right. That's the number one thing. Number two, we have to understand the customer's expectations. Things have changed. So 2 years ago, before the pandemic, customers probably didn't expect, they expected much, but there were certain things they could overlook. Today, they will judge you if you don't have a sanitation station for them to even wash their hands. They will judge you if you don't have a cashless system, so they don't have to be pressing your POS or touching other things. So we have to re-innovate ourselves in a way that we're really catering to the customer's needs. So it's gone beyond the training. Like I said, we need to start looking at the people that we employ. We need to start looking at their mindset, invest in the skill set. And every single organization within the value chain. And I like that they also have inspectors who go around. They need to have a book where they're checking who has been trained and who hasn't. People need to be invested in. So you employ someone as a hotel, what type of training do you give them? You are supposed to give them mandatory training at least biannually. And I'm glad they would be able to check some of these things just to make sure that everybody is on point.
Great.
Apart from that, it's important that if they're going to set standards, they're able to follow and make sure that they reward and reprimand those who actually fall short. I think once we're able to do that, we're not reinventing any wheel, we're just doing these things that already exist better.
All right. Yvonne, we're grateful for your analysis and your thoughts on this matter. She's president of the Institute of Customer Service Professionals there. Well, scores of tertiary students and participants have converged at the Valley View University receiving some career guidance in order to help them make the right occupational choices. The maiden edition of the Joy Business Campus Roadshow is underway at the university, and my colleague Emma Davis is on the ground to fill us in on all that's happening so far. Emma, if you could hear me, what exactly can you report on the scene?
So I can hear you loud and clear. We just ended the first Joy Business Roadshow, and I have here with me Dr. Prepra, who's going to tell us what he makes of this event and why they decided to partner with Joy Business.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much, Charles. Valley View University, as you know, is the first chartered private university in the country. And this collaboration between Joy and Valley View has come at the very right time for us, especially with our students, for them to know what kind of career path is there for them. And during the interaction sessions, we have had a very good time, especially with our resource persons who joined us. They have really shared experiences in their life, which I know that most of our students are going to listen. They have listened to it very carefully and are going to apply them in their endeavor.
So one key thing you talked about is value for yourself. Please elaborate for the purpose of the audience out there who could not make it here. What are some of the key things one needs to have to be able to have a successful career?
Okay, thank you very much. Mostly in books, I'm an academia, so I speak, and then also a practitioner. In the books, the emphasis for career guidance has been on a student knowing his interest and then the skill set. But currently what is missing in our industry is to have the right value, the Christian or principle that a student should live on. So in my presentation, I focus on value. And that is what we teach at Valley View University. When we come to Valley View University, we train the mind of the student, the heart of the student, and the hand. And we inculcate in them biblical principles, which is very part of our teaching. And Valley View, we adore ourselves by saying that we are the preferred Christian university in the country. So apart from teaching or helping the students to know their career, we tell them that in this modern world that we find ourselves, what is needed is your attitude or your value you hold in life. And we dwell on a quotation that we find in Education, which was written by Ellen White, who says that the men that the world needs now are men who are true, who are honest, who have conscience duty, men who can call sin by their name, and men who stand for the right thing all the time. That is what we are teaching at Valley View. And we hope that any student who wants to venture into entrepreneur, having a Christian value or a religious value like this, the person will be able to excel.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Prepra. And that was the Chief Finance Officer for the Valley View University. And one thing I learned from this whole roadshow is to fail forward, regardless of what you're going through. Whenever you fail, you pick up yourself, you dust yourself, and you move forward. That's it for Charles. IT.
Emma, just before I let you go, what have students been telling you regarding the feedback?
Well, students are quite excited. They were not even okay with the time that they had. They wished for more engagement, for more time to engage with the facilitators, and they were very excited. According to them, they learned a lot, and then they look forward to applying this and look forward to more seminars like this.
Many thanks, Emma Davis, live from the Valley View University with the Joy Business Roadshow, where we're really helping students out make the best career choices. We shall give you more updates at 5 p.m. But away from that, government has moved to support ride-hailing services, which are gradually catching on in the country. According to the Ministry of Transport, the entry of such services are necessary to rid the country of overage vehicles, as well as complement the government's digital transformation agenda. The Deputy Minister of Transport, Frederick Adum, spoke at the launch of the Trips Ghana, which is a ride-hailing service which offers the opportunity for both drivers and users in the form of increased choices and lower-cost transport services.
I'm particularly excited about this ceremony because of the opportunity it offers to further boost our commitment to scale up the adoption of technology in the transport sector, to ensure efficiency in service delivery and ultimately achieve government digital transformation agenda. I must emphasize that it takes a lot of planning, commitment, and willpower to start, nurture, grow, and sustain a business of this nature, especially in the era of COVID-19 pandemic and its effect on the transport and logistics value chain. Without doubt, the private sector has continued to play a role in our development process, particularly through job creation for the many young men and women, and thereby guaranteeing them a meaningful life.
Of course, Trips gives users the opportunity to book a bus plying their route without any hassle. The co-founder and chief executive, Onyeka Akuma, said the entry of the service seeks to provide convenience to transport users.
I was making a trip back from Qatar, where I went to speak, and I got into a bus. Now, I didn't plan to get into a bus that day, but my other co-founders wanted me to experience what people go through on a day-to-day basis with buses. I had a panic attack. This was in Lagos. In Lagos, there are buses we call Danfo. They are the yellow buses. Why did I go into a panic attack? I found myself holding the door of the bus from falling off. I'm the passenger. The driver was moving, he had a towel around his neck. And for that driver, all he wanted to do was move this machine from one bus stop to the other. I was looking at all the metal sticking out from the chairs. And I asked myself, many of us have our white shirts and red ties in the hall. And there are people that may not be able to afford an Uber ride on a day-to-day basis or get on a bike. And they have to get into this bus. Is this the experience they have to go through on a day-to-day basis? And I called my friend Johnny, who is now a co-founder of me and also the president. And I asked this question. I said, yeah, over 9 million people in that country use a bus every day. In Accra, the numbers are also staggering. And they have to go through this on a day-to-day basis with no predictability about the availability of the buses, with no assurance that when you get to the bus stop, even if rain is falling, that you get the bus. And most of all, there's no guarantee that there's safety.
Away from that, Alliance Insurance has launched its customer promo dubbed Alliance Cares. It gives free first aid kit to customers for purchasing of motor or home and personal accident insurance packages. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Alliance Insurance, Darlington Mwawani, this has become necessary after the disruption of life by the COVID-19 pandemic and the need to reward customers. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch.
So the birthing of the Alliance Cares promotion is largely due to insights that we get from our clients. Talking to our clients, they telling us that our reward systems are probably not at the right level, and us internally having a purpose that is to secure our client futures. So we are a risk management and an insurance company combined. What we want to do is to make sure that if there is an emergency at home, there is an injury, someone slips and falls, we are there at the point of need. And that's what informed the Alliance Cares. The other point, of course, is to reward our customers who are going through very difficult times because of COVID. Their businesses are not doing well, families are under a lot of pressure. So this is our small way, the beginning of our loyalty program, to say thank you as a reward for the support that they give us.
You're still watching The Marketplace. Let's now give you a bit of Money Lab, where we help you understand how best to invest your money.
Hello there. Welcome to another edition of the Money Lab. Today we'll look at the stock market and the fixed income market. Now, these two markets provide the opportunity for investors to make investments based on their preference, whether they want to be part owners of a company going into the market or would want to lend to existing companies or even to the government. That is the fixed income market. The stock market, or the equity market, or the shares market is the aggregation of buyers and sellers of stocks, which represent ownership or claims on businesses. These may include securities listed on a public stock exchange, such as the Ghana Stock Exchange, as well as those traded privately, such as shares of private companies, which are sold to investors through equity crowdfunding platforms. The fixed income market is more commonly referred to as the debt securities market or the bonds market. It consists of bond securities issued by the government, corporate institutions, municipalities, and the mortgage debt instruments. Debt security investments are generally seen as less risky than equity investments.
Well, and that'll be it for The Marketplace. My name is Charles Aite. Been a lovely moment coming your way with The Marketplace for this week. Let's do same next week. In the meantime, do check on myjoyonline.com for all the business stories as well as local and international news making the rounds around the world. Many thanks once again for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
It's up close on Reason is Jesus. My name is P.P. Folsom, the Christocentric.